Unfortunately, the game has crashed once again. Typical Codemasters cannot make a decent game to save their life. Unfortunately, this has been happening fairly regularly. Only we are going to go back to spectate. Yeah, only as a spectator, which is very, very strange. But we're going to load back in and repost on the live stream. And we are back once again. Here we go. And yeah, apologies to anyone who was tuning in. Yeah, we had a little bit of a game crash once again. Seems to be a common thing when you're spectating at the moment. Game seems to completely crash. Hopefully Codemasters sort that sooner rather than later. Very, very frustrating. But we're back for the meantime, and we'll see what we do. A few laps gone in. Paul's gone into 6th. DRL Naismith into P5. So that's... it's a good effort by him. Pippo Kennedy in the Alfa Romeo still to set a lap time. He'll be one to watch out for. Very, very fast driver as well. Got a couple of people on out laps about to finish a lap, but we'll follow with Pippo because I think he's possibly going to be the next one across the line to set a lap. So we'll see what he's able to manage as he comes into this final sector. Very fast swooping corners. Really need the front end grip through here. And into second to last corner, very awkward braking zone. Keep that car hugging into the left hand curb as much as possible. Then in through the final hairpin up to the line on the power as early as you can. And what's this going to be? It's going to set Pippo up into 4th position. That's a very, very good lap indeed. We've got Myra also on a lap, 2 tenths up, and Purple in the first sector, so this will be one to watch. We got Chuck also on a lap, a little bit behind him as well. I think Danny's on an out lap behind that, and then we've got one of the Alpines behind him. I think it's GFO Samilaras. That one. I really still can't pronounce your name, and I apologise once again. I swear I do this every week. But Myra, 2.5 tenths up in the middle sector. This is looking to be a very good lap. He needs to pull out a little bit more than that in the last sector. See what he's got in hand. Takes that very nicely. This bit like a spoon, that curve has been spoon curve, but that's a corner in Japan, not in France. Using all the track that he can, absolutely up to those track limits. That is very good line indeed. In through second to last. Now swing that Williams into the final corner, up on the power once again. DRS wide open up to the line. What's this going to be? Is it going to be enough to challenge for Paul? It's going to be close. No, 130.9. He's dropped a bit of time in that final sector, and it's only good enough for P4. And that is unfortunate for him. We have Chuckle on a lap, only 4 tenths up as well, but he has quite a lot of traffic. There's a Mercedes up ahead of him who has actually binned it. Who was that? It wasn't Josh McGill because he's not there. It was obviously Lee Craig. But round Lee Craig goes, so hopefully that hasn't affected Chuckle too much. It certainly affected Lee Craig, and that's his lap out and down the drain. Chuckle round in the final corner. What can he manage this time? McLaren across the line is good enough for P3, 30.8. Still a little way off, but Lee Burt absolutely smashes that out the park. A 30.2, nearly half a second quicker than anyone else. That is a fantastic lap by the Williams, and he looks to be right on the pace once again this week. Unbelievable from the Williams. Be looking forward to seeing where he comes out. Looney Man on a lap, or is he down? Yeah, he's that's definitely not on a lap. If it is, that's I think what we consider cheating. Tiedemann on a lap, but a little bit down on his previous best. Hoping to improve on P19. as he goes down the main overtaking straight come the race in through this chicane, breaks up the two straights and round the Ferrari goes. Unfortunate for him, just a little bit too eager on the power, but you really need to get on that power early coming out of there, so just got a little bit too greedy, but it's a fine balancing act, and unfortunately the Ferrari has overstepped the mark in this case. Anyone else potentially on a lap? Darrell Naismith, maybe, as in 7th currently for the AlphaTauri. It's a very impressive job so far. Defending champion Paul Jones Jr. currently down in 8th place, and really needs to get a decent lap in and get some good points in after last week's disaster. Naismith obviously not happy with his lap, and that is going to be into the pits. Nice job, mate. He'll be one to watch as well. There's, I tell you what, the amount of people in this race tonight that have the capabilities of winning, absolutely unreal. This is going to be incredible to watch. Around the final corner does the other AlphaTauri go, and up to the line. What's he going to set? It's going to be enough for P6, a 30.9, and look how close this is. The times are so close. Prof, good evening in the chat. Nice to have you joining us. I hope you're as excited for this race as I am, because this is, well, it's settling up to be an absolutely brilliant race. It's a brilliant qualifying. We've got 3 minutes to go on that clock. Everybody's going to start thinking about their last lap, and just getting the right tyres, the right fuel loads in. Obviously, can't tweak your setup now if you've already been out and set a lap, which every driver has. All 20 drivers this evening have set a lap, so their setups all locked in. Very close up at the top. Absolutely, you are very, very right. As Bugatti goes across the line, does improve, but not enough to improve any position. Is still in 17th, but a lot closer. And then I tell you what, there's Lee Craig and GFO set identical lap times, 31.772. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, look how close it is. If you take Lee Burt out of the equation, how close it is up at the front. Absolutely insane. Myra, nice job. Only 0.003 of a second apart from each other. And wow, oh wow. This is very, very interesting. We will go with Pippo. Currently in P7. Liebert has retired in the pits. He is supremely confident in that lap time, and I'm not surprised. I think I'd be that confident if I set a lap like that. Absolutely stonking lap that is. And yeah, Pippo unfortunately down a 10.5 though in the first sector, so it's not looking good for the Alfa Romeo driver. Had an incredible time race out last week in Portugal. Didn't qualify well, but did manage to gain quite a few positions, and I believe my driver of the day, if I remember rightly as well, through. That's the second sector, all about straight line speed. What's his split going to be? It's still down by 0.2, so it's not looking great for the Alfa Romeo. Can he pull anything out the bag in this final sector? A lot of cars coming out on the track in the first and second sector now, all warming up, doing their outlap, preparing for their final goes. In the Alfa Romeo, swoops around that corner, wide in, and keep it close and straight in the exit as much as possible. Using a lot of the curb. You've got to hook the car on the curb round here, take more speed into the corner, and gives you a bit more grip. Stops the car running out wide across the line, and yeah, it's a 0.6 down on his previous best, so not a good lap from the Alfa Romeo. A few people on laps as well. Looney Man on a lap maybe, I think possibly is, but we're going to go with a few of the leaders. You've got Myra currently on a lap. Chuckle, I think, about to go onto a lap. I think that is misleading currently, but yeah, Myra looks, well, given it that he's I didn't think he was on the lap. But we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Chuckle going on a lap currently. Matthew XY3 going through the last corner, so he'll be going on to a lap as well. Myra has invalidated whether he was on a lap or not. We'll have to see. You've also got Paul Jones Jr. on a lap as well. He's got McLaren of Chuck right behind it. No, Chuckle, sorry, right behind him. Yeah, was that Chuckle? I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to keep an eye out for that because I think Chuckle was ahead. But there we go. Yeah, Paul on a lap. He's 2/10 up in the first sector. Chuckle's up a little bit as well. Matthew now sets a purple sector. He's a 10th up and he's round the Haas. He's round and that. He's absolutely gutting for him because that was setting up to be a brilliant lap for him. We're going to go back with Paul because I think these are the only two at the moment likely to spoil the party for pole, or well, it's really a race for P2 at this point, isn't it? Metaxis I didn't see dropped into P2. That's a great lap by him. He obviously did that a little bit earlier and I completely missed it. Paul Jones Jr. a little bit of a wiggle through the middle sector coming out the chicane. Can he keep it going into the final few corners now, into the final sector? A lot of drivers round. Chuckle, apologies, Chuckle has finished his lap, was it? No, Chuck has, I think. Yeah, Chuck's finished his lap and he's gone through. But what's Paul Jones Jr. Through the final hairpin up to the line? What's he going to set? It's going to be an improvement, and up to 5th he goes. Chuckle across the line. Oh, I don't know whether he improved, but he's only in P6. I think he did. I think he jumped ahead of Myra right at the end there. The only other person, yeah, Matthew, who we know has spun. And that is that for qualifying. That was a very tense and exciting finish, and I apologise because I didn't keep up with it all. They were coming thick and fast. Everybody, so many drivers likely to have stolen that pole or away. But it has to be said, Lieber absolutely in fine form on that lap. A 30.2. 4/10 clear of anyone else. GFO Metaxis in P2 again, showing his great one-lap speed. Unfortunately, the race didn't go so well to him last week. Just wasn't strong enough to consistently keep that speed up. But we will see. Hopefully, he's been practicing. Very, very close. Josh McGill in 3rd place, which is not something you see often. Matthew XY3. What could have been? He was a 10th up. Did he have any more in hand? We will never know. But he's in P4. Paul Jones in P5, defending champion, and looking to kickstart his title defence after a poor showing last week. Chuckle in P6. Myra in P7th. He'll be one to watch. A very, very quick and consistent driver. Also, nice job, mate, as well. Also, very fast. Perhaps a little out of position in P8. Pippo. One to watch, 2. There's so many to watch. Potentially starting out of position, and Naismith rounding up the top 10 on that one. I think it was Chuck then in P11, Royal Rumble in P12, Danny P13, and I believe AJ P14. I can't remember beyond that. But into the race we go once again. Looks like it is going to be a dry race. All the pit crews there have all sent their man out the front, and there's like three men all stood inside one another. Not really sure what's going on. Honestly, the things Codemasters get up to absolutely astounds me. As we get the countdown clock going. And everyone picking their strategies, picking their tyre to start the race on. Also choosing their fuel load, very critical as well. The lower fuel you go, the quicker your car will be, especially early on. But you may need to do fuel saving later on. But all depends on the safety car, and none of us know what will happen. But Liebert to see us away for the formation lap. And we will check in with tyres. Liebert going for the mediums. GFO Metaxis being a little bit of an oddball. He's going for the hards, but if you look further back, Josh McGill, Matthew XY3 on mediums, and then you've got Paul, Chuckle, Myra, Pippo, Chuck, Royal, AJ, GFO, Lee Craig, Bugatti and Cunningham all on hards. So a lot of people going for those hard compounder tyres. They will struggle in the first few laps, but it may pay dividends come the end of the race. And once again, any safety car comes at an inconvenient time for them. It could go against them. This track is very high on the front tyre temperatures, as I alluded to earlier in qualifying. Not really too much of an issue in qualifying, but it is a big issue in the race. Your front tyres will overheat and they'll get very hot, so it's looking after them can be very key. And being on those hard compounder tyres, obviously after a few laps, that is going to have an advantage. I'm not sure we'll keep all the telemetry up so we can see what's going on. Keep an eye out for this race. AJ and Lee Craig have got themselves disqualified. I'm not sure there's contact there or not, but either way, they will have no more opportunity to warm their tyres. They've just got to start how they do. They won't even be able to drive into their grid box, so that is a bit of a disadvantage for them. But both starting on hard compounder tyres. They're looking for the long game at the moment. Not necessarily looking to get positions on the opening lap. As yeah, we get towards the end of the formation lap. Everyone getting ready. This is where the pressure starts building, and who performs best under pressure. I can tell you one thing: Lee Burt, this man, he does not feel pressure. He does not know the meaning of it. You see a few drivers coming down, start finish straight, all avoiding Ebert and AJ. They will ghost so everyone can drive through them. We've got a few 360s in the background. That looks like it was Chuckle going for one. We've got a Haas with a very failed attempt. Also further back, got an AlphaTauri giving it a go as well. Absolute class. You love to see it. As the last few drivers get in to take up their positions on the grid. There goes Matthew, XY3, last man to get in his grid slot. Nobody really disqualified. It was good going, but we have some lights which I can't see. And lights out and away we go, and it looks like a good start for Lee Burt. Metax is struggling on those hard tyres. Josh McGill also has a lightning start and is nearly up alongside Lee Burt into the first corner. There's contact, and it looks like Josh McGill has gone round. He's gone sideways and got taken out by a few of the following cars, and that has caused absolute carnage. Lee Burt holds the lead. GFO still in P2. Chuckle has managed to get up to P3. That's a good start from him. Nice job, mates. Had an incredible start, as is Pippo Kennedy. A lot of people look like they've been caught out further back from that, and I think Matthew XY3, Paul Jones Jr., Myra and GFO all being caught unawares by the spinning Mercedes, and didn't see whether there was any contact on the entry there. That I'm sure that'll be in the steward's report if there was. But yeah, a lot of drivers losing it further back, and we've got both of the Hasses look like they potentially made contact as well. Tiedemann gets past Naismith, but yeah, Paul Jones Jr. for the second race in a row has dropped right towards the back of the field. After first lap incidents. Looks like he's got most of his wings, so he should be able to still go. Liebert pulling a nice gap on Metaxas right away. Chuckle all over the back of the Alpine. He really wants to make this move, and I'm not surprised. He needs to make this move as early as possible and use that tyre advantage while he can. So this is going to be the battle to watch, really. Pippo dropping back, but nice job, mate. But once again, looks like it's the tyre advantage. The medium's working so much better, firing up so much quicker in the early stages of this race. And who's that few people perhaps pitting further back? Yeah, there is a few guys in the pit. Myra's in the pits. Chuck is in the pits. I imagine it's going to be for wing damage. What have we got going from further back here? AJ and Tiedemann are going side by side. Tiedemann will have the inside line, but I think he's a bit too far back now. And further back, Josh McGill making moves side by side with Paul Jones. Paul forced to take over the curb and has to back out. Left not much room, but only just enough. And once again, Tiedemann and AJ trading positions. There's a cracking old battle going on down there, but we're going to try and go back with Chuckle. He's in the slipstream of the Alpine. You got Nice Job, mate, not far behind as well. They've had incredible starts. We're going to see if we can see the position change. There's your position changes. Naismith looks like he's round and dropping a few positions further back. Looney Man, I didn't see him. The big winner out of all of this, up to P6, up 9 positions from his starting grid. He's had a rocket ship of a start, and I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with that. But we'll go back to the tyres for now. And yeah, definitely the mediums were the tyre to be on early doors in the first lap or two. But now perhaps we'll start to see the hards coming into their own a little bit more. They'll start phasing in very slowly or very gradually through. Nice job, mate, all over the back of Chuckle. So Chuckle, while trying to be on the attack, is got to be on the defence as well. And nice job, mate, looks like he's had a little bit of a slipstream on Chuckle. Is he going to make a move into the first corner? He's going to dive to the inside. Later on the brakes, can he make the move stick? I think he might have that move made. He certainly does, and that's good racing from the two of them, and good racing for Nice Job, who's managed to get himself up onto the podium positions, and I'm sure he's going to go straight after the Alpine as soon as he can. Dan in the chat, where's Benson? Best driver on F1 YouTube. Well, I do believe, Dan, he has left the league. He was meant to be commentating last night, but 5 minutes before the race, he left the league and decided to commentate on another league because that's where his allegiances lie. Who knows? I would ask him yourself. We'll have to find out, but back to the race, more importantly. Nice job, mate. Now, DRS is enabled. He's unable to make a move this lap. This is all helping Lee Burt, who's pulling a nice big gap up at the front now. Any close battles further back, we've got a nice big train through the midfield. It is all incredibly close back there. Nobody likely to make a move though, as at the moment Tiedemann very, very close to the back of Lee Craig. We're going to go back with the podium, fight for the podium positions once again. And Nice Job really wants to make this move as early as he can, because that tyre advantage is going to fade away as the Grand Prix goes on. Just can't find a way past that Alpine. That Alpine driving very, very well indeed. But here we go. DRS will be along this start-finish straight, but it's not a very long straight. Oh, the Metax is struggling for battery power. That's why he's running so well. He's been using a lot of battery, but down the inside, Nice Job goes, and into P2 does the AlphaTauri go. But is Metaxis, if he's able to stick with him through this first sector, he'll have another go getting back past him with another DRS straight, and a very long one as well. Matthew XY3 sets fastest lap of the race on those mediums, trying to claw up some lost ground after that first lap. Josh McGill has managed to get ahead of Lee Craig further back as well, the two Mercedes trading positions. I think, yeah, Metaxis is a bit too far behind to really be able to make a move back, unfortunately. But we're going to go back with this battle now. Tiedemann all over the back of Lee Craig. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's in the slipstream. All these drivers have DRS. AJ, Tiedemann and Paul, I think it is, in the back. Who is going to come out on top at the moment is the Mercedes of Lee Craig. But once again, we're going to have another run, because AJ has got a nice run on the Mercedes. It looks like he's got more battery, because the battery light is flashing on Lee Craig, and through the Alfa Romeo goes for P11. Look how hard they're fighting. They're not even in the points yet. Amazing, amazing stuff. It is Tiedemann behind, and Paul Jones, his teammate, is further behind, but Tiedemann's pushing Lee Craig round. Lee Craig really struggling on those hard compounder tyres. He hasn't managed to phase his tyres in just yet. Back up at the front, Metaxis has dropped out of DRS range of Nice Job, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Bugatti, unfortunately, has had a spin in his drop round. Nice Job, mate, goes fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Little help with DRS on that opening straight, and that'll help him once again. But Lee Craig, yeah, really struggling on those hards. But that's to be expected. And we've got a little wiggle there. Josh McGill and GFO very, very close. Bugatti gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Josh McGill can't find a way past just yet. They've also got a spinner. That's DRL Naismith in turn 1. Looks like Bugatti's retired in the pits. He's called it a day. Didn't want to hang it out. It's only lap 5. It's a little bit early to be retiring, I think. But Paul and Tiedemann have swapped positions. Was that a mistake from Tiedemann, or was that team orders? But also Josh McGill has also got past GFO down the start, or the main straight, with the assistance of DRS. Chuckle and Metaxis have swapped positions as well. I missed that. There's so much going on. I cannot keep up with what's happening right now. It's absolutely amazing stuff, this. Back GFO all over the back of Josh McGill now, having just been passed. He's gotten the slipstream and getting very, very close to the Mercedes, but he is on those hard compound tyres, which we know are not as quick. Sector 3, we've got a yellow flag. Is that Tiedemann? I think it was Tiedemann had a bit of a moment. He's dropped off for the pack. Now, unfortunately, Pippo is all over the back of Looney Man. Looney Man had a great start, but now Pippo on those hards. Can he make a move? No, I think he's a little bit far back on this occasion, but we will stay with these guys. We'll come back to these guys when it comes to the start finish, or the main straight. I keep calling it the start finish straight, and I need to stop that. There's a bit of a DRS train going on back here for 11th, 12th, and 13th, all running very, very closely to one another. But this now, we're going to get back with Pippo Kennedy. Some terrible camera angles of which we cannot see what's actually going on, which is rather infuriating. But that's a good exit out of there from Looney Man. He's had a great exit. Tiedemann has gone around once again in the first sector, so really struggling with his rear tyres at the moment. And I think Looney Man, with that great exit, is managing to hold or stay well away from Pippo. But we're going to go back with this DRS train further back for the fringes of the points. No, everybody in DRS with one another, so nobody able to quite make a move on the other. I tell you what, Paul's very, very close to the back of the Mercedes of Lee, though, in the slipstream. He fainted to the inside, but I think he pulled away. Oh, Paul's gone very, very wide. I think Lee Craig pulled to the inside and it caught Paul out. But Paul has that position now. Will it have given him an illegal overtake? Yes, I think it has, because he was off the track and he's given that position back once again. And that is unfortunate, but back as we are, and unfortunately just about dropped them out of DRS range. Can Lee Craig just about snatch the DRS? I don't think he did, and this may allow Paul now the opportunity to get a clean overtake. I think Lee Craig's not going to fight it. He pulls over to one side. He's not going to fight it too hard, and through goes the Ferrari. Josh McGill gets past Royal Rumble and into 8th place now, and that's a good recovery from him so far. And there's that Danny that spun is dropping down the order. And that's down to 13th, the Red Bull goes. Red Bull had a great start in this race, but now it is starting to go downhill. Certainly on one side of the garage. Looney Man doing a very, very good job further up holding his position. AJ very, very close to the back of the other Alpine of GFO. Can he do anything? I think he's going to be a little bit too far back. Pippo once again very, very close to the back of Looney Man, but just can't quite find a way. He's going to use his battery though. No, he turned it off. He started to use it, but I thought maybe he was trying to eye up a move. It's a good opportunity to make a move out of that middle chicane, you know. If you get on the power nice and early, you can certainly make a difference. Tiedemann is round once again, having a bit of a mare of a race. Unfortunately, this is a big wiggle for Pippo there. He's done well to hold on to that. His teammate in the other AlphaTauri, he's currently up in P10. Paul Jones bearing down on him from behind, but yeah, AJ all over the back of the Alpine. Can he make a move? But I tell you one thing, it looks like that tyre advantage has swung the other way, because GFO Metaxis has caught up to the back of Chuckle now. He's used a lot of battery to do so, but Chuckle doesn't have much battery either. Nice job, but doesn't have much battery. Lee Bird doesn't have much battery. They are all pushing each other as hard as they possibly can up front. They are absolutely rinsing each other's ERS. But Metaxis has caught up. There is a yellow flag once again for Tiedemann. He's really... Perhaps he's gone the wrong way with setup, because he's having a bit of a mare, unfortunately. But yeah, GFO using battery... don't think that's the wisest thing to do right now. I think he needs to save it, because he's not close enough to make a move. As you can see, nearly runs into the back of Chuckle. They're just that much braver on the brakes. Chuckle may be starting to struggle. Tiedemann has retired. Looks like a retirement in the pit lane. Once again, lap 8 of 27. It's quite early to be doing that, but he's obviously gone the wrong way with his setup and struggling as a result. AJ... still all over the back of this Alpine. He's very, very close now Is he going to be able to eye up a move into this this fast right-hander? I think he might just do. He's going to go down the inside. No, he backs out of it. Oh, does he still got his nose just in? He's got extra grip. He's got more grip than the Alpine has, but he can't quite make him move. That's very respectful racing from the two of them. He's going to take a wider line and try and get the rocket ship exit. He certainly does get a good exit. Is it going to be enough for the Alpine? I'm not sure it is there, but can he send it up the inside? Is he going to be close enough? No, he's going to have DRS now, though. He needs to get it focused on a good exit, and that wasn't the greatest exit in the world from the Alpine. And yeah, unfortunately, Alfa Romeo stays behind for yet another lap, and Paul has caught up to the back of these guys. We do... Oh, this was just the other Ferrari. Ignore me. I saw a yellow flag, but it was just the retired car of Tiedemann coming out of the pits. And yeah, they look at AJ. He's all over the back of GFO. He's got a lot more confidence in that Alfa Romeo than the Alpine. He's going to get a nice helping of DRS down this straight, but I think GFO might be quite good in the straight line, but this is going to be a very good opportunity for the Alfa Romeo. He pulls to the inside. They're going to be side by side, breaking into the middle chicane. The Alfa Romeo's got the line. He forces the Alpine a little bit wide, and that could compromise the Alpine, and Paul Jones Jr. might be able to get a nice run on him, but actually the Alpine has managed to tuck in the slipstream of AJ very nicely, but AJ finally getting that move made. It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure he's going to be relieved to see. Oh, the Alpine goes. Oh, there's contact. What happened there? It looked like the Alpine tried to go up the inside of AJ, and there was no way he was going to make that happen. And he suddenly hit the brakes, and Paul was right behind and could do absolutely nothing about it. Has that given Paul wing damage? I think he's alright. There's certainly no visible damage, and he's still going. It has cost him a bit of time, but there's absolutely nothing he could do there. There was a sudden slam on the brakes from GFO, and that is unfortunate for everyone involved. But yeah, we're going to go back with the fight for the last bit on the podium. Metax is all over the back of Chuckle now. These tyres really now coming into their own. Liebert, we haven't really spoke about him much, but he has been slowly pulling that gap out front. It's 2.9, nearly 3 seconds. But GFO Metax will have DRS. And he's going to catch this McLaren. He's going to catch it. Chuckle goes defensive and holds the inside line, but I think the Alpine's going to have the move made even before the braking zone. He certainly does. And it back up into P3 he goes. And this is where the hard compound tyres really start looking incredibly strong. And Metaxis, who's having an incredible race so far, is looking very, very strong. And I apologise because I did not realise Chuckle was on the hards as well. I thought it was on the mediums. Ignore me. Don't know why I thought it was on the mediums. I did not look. Pippo, though, all over the back of Looney Man. Still cannot find a way past that Red Bull. And he's not a huge long way off this fight, but there is a bit of a gap. 5 seconds between Looney Man and Chuckle. So it's going to be hard work if he does get past to try and get himself into the fight for the race win. Really looking like a 4-horse race out front. Well, Liebert does look like he's got the advantage on everyone at the moment. But anything can happen. It is a long race. On to lap 11 of 27 we go. There's a big DRS train forming back there. That looked like Danny had a little bit of a moment coming out the final corner. A bit of a wobble. Matthew, XY3, gets the... Oh, I think he's just cut the corner and just sped in the pit lane there. I don't know whether there's a misjudgment or what that was. But anyway, back to the racing we go. And anyone likely to make a move? Pippo once again just struggling through that first sector close to the Red Bull, but he's going to have a nice slipstream and a nice run on the Red Bull this time. To the inside the Alfa Romeo goes, and I think he's got this position made. He just needs to get it turned into the chicane, and he does that absolutely fine, and Looney Man drops to P6. However, AJ and Royal Rumble going side by side. Ran the outside, the Alfa Romeo goes. That is brave stuff and a fantastic move. But it's all about the traction, and now who has the lowest downforce down the straight is pretty much neck and neck. I think the Aston Martin had the ascendancy though. Perhaps running a little less wings than the Alfa Romeo. but fantastic move by AJ around the outside. He did get, unfortunately, he didn't make it stick. Nice job. He's in the pit, so that's the first of the front runners to pit, and he's going to pull the trigger on the undercut, which could be worth a little bit round here. AJ now with that battle, it's allowed Paul to catch up. There's the battle once again, but we've got to keep an eye on Nice Job, mate. There he is. Is he going to come out into clean out? I think he is. Could have GFO maybe putting a spanner in the works, and he certainly is. Down the inside he goes, and Nice Job, mate, sees him coming, but manages to block it off, and that's good defensive driving there for Nice Job. He needs to stay ahead. If he drops behind, this could cost him time, but remember, he's got the position for now, but he's got very, very cold tyres. GFO has warm tyres, although they are very old, but he will have the advantage in terms of the tyre grip right now. But that's a good exit for Nice Job onto that main straight, and I think he's got a nice run. But GFO will get the DRS. Is he going to be close enough? It might be fairly close. I think he's going to. No, I don't think he's going to be close enough, and that is very, very important for Nice Job. If he wants to get the undercut on the other guys around him, he needed to stay ahead, and he has made that happen. Royal Rumble and AJ have traded positions. Royal Rumble going to go back up the inside there. That is going to be a brave move indeed. And Paul Jones learning his lesson from last time. It goes right round the outside and now makes it the inside line for this corner. And now he's going to be able to run the Aston Martin out of track, which he certainly does do. He does give him room though, having said that. But it's just a bit too little too late. The Aston's not going to get on the power that easily. And Paul has made the position, but this is allowing Lee Craig and the Mercedes to get into this fight and into the slipstream. Lee Craig goes. They both have DRS though. Lee Craig doesn't have much battery. He is using a little bit. Down the inside Lee Craig goes, and he's got that move made into P7, and that is a great move indeed. We've had a few people pitting further back. Liebert, most importantly, sorry, we have missed a lot of this. Looney Man also pitting for the hards. Where's Liebert come out? He's only 2 seconds ahead of Nice Job, and he doesn't have much battery either. He hasn't really saved an awful lot. So yeah, Nice Job really getting a nice undercut on the Williams. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. It's a while till we see GFO, Metaxas and Chuckle pit, I imagine, because they're on the hards, so they will want to stay out for a little while. Royal still all over the back of Lee Craig. After that, he wants to get a position back. Paul now all over the back of AJ. So having got that position, AJ is now in trouble because he hasn't got DRS from anyone else, and Paul is going to look very, very threatening here. But he's managed to survive the first DRS zone. Paul just taking a look to the inside, letting the Alfa Romeo know he's there. But look how much more grip the Ferrari has. He's trying to go around the outside, but there's no way he's going to make that move stick. Taking a wide line and going to go for the rocket ship exit. But he just got a little bit of understeer mid-corner, and it delayed his go onto the power. Josh McGill's in the pit further up ahead. And the Ferrari stays behind the customer Ferrari team for now. Royal Rumble also in the pits as well. And Paul going to the inside now into turn one. Has he got that move made? He certainly has. The Alfa Romeo is going to look to go back around the outside, but there's no way he's going to make that stick. He's still close in the slipstream, and there's going to be DRS in a second, so he may have a chance of going back. But Paul up into P4 for now. Obviously, these guys haven't pitted, so they are a little bit higher at the order than they are effectively racing for. And Paul, very nice run through that first sector, and I think that means AJ's a bit too far behind to make any sort of a move there. But we need to jump back because Nice Job has managed to get DRS on Liebert, and that could be very important. However, they are both catching up with a train of runners now. Lee Craig, AJ and Paul, they have caught up to the back of, and this is a very crucial phase of this race. How quickly they can sieve through these back markers. Well, not back markers, that's rather offensive, and I do apologise, I didn't mean it like that. These cars are on different strategies. They get to pit, they're on older tyres, So Liebert and Nice Job will have the pace advantage over them, but they need to dispatch them very quickly. It's going to be very difficult being in a DRS train. And they may come out equal to each other, but this is going to help Chuckle and Metaxas. Although, having said that, Lee Craig is in the pits now. So that's one car out of the way. But yeah, the longer these guys are stuck behind this DRS train, that is going to help Chuckle and Metaxas. Not that it matters, because Chuckle's got himself the corner cutting penalty.